everyone. Welcome to Sam's Summaries. This episode is a deep dive discussion into Sam Fury's summary of chapters 14 and 15 from the book How to Make Money in Stocks by William O'Neill. It has been created with the help of AI. Chapter 15 is titled Picking the Best Market Themes, Sectors, and Industry Groups. You can read the original post at samfury.com.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Today, we are going to be talking about something super important for all you investors out there. We're talking about industry groups and why they matter so much when you're trying to find those winning stocks. And to help us unpack all this, we're going to be looking at chapters 14 and 15 of William O'Neill's How to Make Money in Stocks. And you know what? I have to admit something. I used to kind of just like gloss over the whole industry trends thing. But after really digging into what O'Neill has to say about it, I'm seeing the market with a whole new set of lenses.
He definitely has a way of changing your perspective on things.
He does. So let's get right into it. The big idea here is that a stock's success is tied to how strong its industry is as a whole.
Absolutely. He actually uses a really interesting analogy in the book. Picture a boat trying to go upstream. Now imagine a strong industry group is like this powerful current pushing that boat along. Makes the journey so much easier, right?
Makes total sense.
But if the current's going against you, even the best boat is going to have a hard time making any progress.
So basically you're saying it's not enough to just find a company that seems amazing.
Yeah.
You got to make sure it's in an industry that's also on the rise.
Precisely. It's all about riding that wave of industry momentum.
Okay, so how do we even begin to figure out what makes an industry strong or not?
Well, O'Neill talks about this idea of breaking things down into sectors, industry groups, and then subgroups.
Right, and I think a lot of people kind of get tripped up on the differences between those three things.
Yeah, it can get a little technical, but it's important to understand those distinctions.
Definitely.
Think about it, like when you're shopping online,
Yeah.
you start with a broad category, like say electronics.
Okay.
Then you might narrow it down to smartphones.
Right.
And then finally you pick the specific model you want.
Okay, so sectors, industry groups, subgroups,
Yeah.
they help us do the same kind of thing with stocks.
Exactly. You're zooming in from the big picture down to the really specific areas of the market that are potentially the most exciting.
I like that. And now I bet some of our listeners are thinking, okay, this is great, but how do I actually put this into practice? Where do I find this information about industry groups?
Well, there's a really helpful tool that O'Neill talks about, and that's Investors Business Daily, or IBD for short.
IBD, yeah. A lot of our listeners are probably familiar with that one.
They've got this whole system where they categorize all stocks into 197 industry groups.
197. That's a lot.
It is. It sounds overwhelming, right? But the good news is O'Neill says you don't need to track all 197.
Thank goodness.
You really just need to focus on the top 20 performing groups. You can actually find these rankings listed right on IBD. It takes a lot of the guesswork out of it.
Okay, so let's say we're looking at that top 20. We're seeing which industries have the momentum, but we can't just assume that what's hot today is going to be hot forever, right?
Definitely not. Industries are constantly changing, so being able to spot emerging leaders is crucial.
All right, so how do we do that?
Well, O'Neill gives us some really specific tips. One thing he says is to look for stocks that are showing unusual strength breaking out to new highs.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But there's more to it than that, right?
Right. The key is to see if other stocks in that same industry group are also surging. If you see multiple stocks in a group all taking off at the same time,
Right.
that's a much stronger signal than just one lone breakout.
So it's like a confirmation almost.
Exactly. And this leads us to another really important point that O'Neill makes, and it's this idea of correlations in the market. He's basically saying that the market is this web of interconnected relationships. What happens in one area can have a ripple effect on other areas.
How does that play out in the real world? Give me an example.
Well, just look at what happened with the artificial intelligence boom last year. You know, when NVIDIA, a leading chip maker for AI, started blowing past earnings estimates, it wasn't just their stock that went up.
Right. A bunch of other companies that are involved in AI also saw their stocks take off.
And on the flip side, imagine if a major bank started having serious problems.
Oh,
That could trigger a sell-off in the entire financial sector as investors start to get nervous.
yeah, I can see that happening.
So understanding these dynamics, how different parts of the market are connected, it's incredibly important.
Okay, so I think we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
To bring it all together for our listeners,
Yeah.
what are the key takeaways here? What do they really need to remember?
Focus on those strong industry groups. Use IBD's categorization to help narrow your search. Look for multiple strong stocks within a group as a confirmation signal.
Got it.
And maybe most importantly, think about those ripple effects.
What do you mean by that?
Ask yourself, what industries are showing surprising strength right now? And what does that tell me about bigger economic trends? You know, if renewable energy stocks are suddenly taking off, that might indicate a broader shift towards sustainable technologies. And these trends, they don't just impact your investments. They can affect your career choices, where you decide to live even your daily life.
That's a great point. It's all connected.
It is.
All right, so as always, we're going to leave everyone with a little something to think about.
Absolutely.
Go explore those IBD industry rankings. And of course, happy investing, everyone.
Happy investing.
Thanks for tuning in to Sam's Summaries. If you found this episode useful, let us know with a like, follow, and share. Also, if you haven't already, be sure to visit samfury.com to get free access to all of Sam's original summaries. You can also get any of Sam's books and other exclusive content. It's all completely free at samfury.com.